All right, y'all. Today we got a video by AM Hoops. We're gonna react to it. The title is "This Kyrie Situation is a Major Problem." Now, if y'all know, as of lately, the Mavericks has been struggling to obviously they've been struggling ever since the Luka trade. They've been really struggling, bro. Like they're right now, I think 14th or 15th in the West. They're struggling. AD's been injured. Kyrie's still out for the season due to his ACL tear. And the team has just been very mediocre, bro. It's just very, very, very bad. It's been very bad for the Mavericks right now. And I'm hearing reports of potentially the Mavericks might end up trading Kyrie, AD, and just start to rebuild over again. They rebuild around Cooper Flag. And it's crazy that it has to end up happening. It ends up happening like this because just 2 years ago they were just competing in the finals against the Celtics. But Nicky Harrison, dumbass GM, decided to trade Luka, and now look up. Now they have to rebuild again. It's just a shame, bro. But nonetheless, we're gonna get to this video. We're gonna react to it. Now let's see what AM Hoops has to say about this Kyrie situation. And yeah, bro, we're gonna see how it goes. We'll see this video.
Report on Kyrie Irving. Looks great on the surface, but could easily be the first domino of a disaster. Mark Spears of ESPN says, Kyrie's looking good, ahead of schedule to return from his ACL. He's working out with the purpose of playing this season, which I'm sure Mavs fans are glad to hear. Probably late January, All-Star break. Awesome.
I'm gonna be honest. I personally feel like Kyrie, it might sound crazy to say, but not too crazy, but I think Kyrie should just sit out this season, let the Mavericks tank, and try to get a number one pick. Because, bro, I feel like there's no point in it. Even if Kyrie comes back, I don't think this team is going to make a deep run in the playoffs. We're being completely honest with you, bro. They should just sit out. They should just tank. Kyrie should just sit out. AD, obviously, they should get rid of AD. Now, if they decide to trade Kyrie, too, I wouldn't be that mad, but I do like to see Kyrie in Dallas, but if they end up trading him, I don't understand. But I think Kyrie should just sit out the whole season. Just, it's no point in him coming back. I mean, honestly, this team's not making it nowhere in the West, bro. You got a stacked West. You got teams like OKC, Nuggets, Lakers, freaking, what's another team? You got all these teams, bro. Even Spurs, too. Spurs has been doing good. You got all these teams in the West, man. They're just dominating, So, you just got to watch out for them, man. I even put the Warriors in the mix, low-key, but...
But we kind of already knew about the All-Star break. Then it gets crazy. Someone close to him told me that if it were the playoffs, he could play right now. That's how ahead of schedule he is. What? Kyrie could be on the floor 7 months after tearing his ACL. That is unheard of. Kyrie is 32, coming off an ACL, rehabbing faster than anyone expected.
Bro, you know what happens when they rush players to come back from injuries, bro? It makes it worse, bro. To be honest, I'm taking my time with Kyrie. I'm not rushing nothing, bro. Like, if it takes him like a year over for him to recover, fuck it, bro.
How is that bad? Well, the Mavericks have to tank to maximize their draft pick, yes, but it goes way deeper than that. This Kyrie news could set off a chain reaction of trouble. Like, just when Cooper Flag thinks the Nico Harrison drama is over, he walks into a whole other mess. Can the kid get a break? Because Kyrie is key to what comes.
But I honestly feel bad for Cooper Flag, bro. They put him in a situation where he has to carry a franchise. They're in a win-now situation, win-now mode, and he just got in the NBA. Like, you can't expect an 18-year-old that just got into the NBA to win, have championship caliber, it's just not even like realistic. It's not realistic. It's not a realistic expectation, to be honest. It's not. If anything, they should put Cooper Flag in a situation where he's trying to develop his game, not his game, but like develop his his NBA, player. So like within maybe 3 years from now, he'll be ready to compete for championships and stuff, bro. Like they put him in a situation. He's in a situation where he's like, he has to win now, but like he's not ready to win now because he's just got into the league. So it's just so I feel bad for him, honestly. Out of this whole thing, like also Mavericks fans too, I feel bad for them too because they lost a generational superstar. But now they put Cooper Flag in a situation where he's like he has to do all this extra, and have really no help around him. Like for the beginning of the season, Jason Kidd literally put him at point guard. He doesn't even play point guard. He's a forward. Why are they playing him putting at point guard, bro? He doesn't even play point guard, bro. So it's just the Mavericks are just in a terrible mess right now, man. It's just terrible.
Next. But I am so jealous.
Oh
you guys know that I've been on
oh,
a 6
hell no, man. What the fuck, man. Get your ass on, boy. Get your goddamn ass.
Many times, NBA teams get lucky with their franchise player. Like the Warriors got lucky, Steph fell in the draft to 9th for them to get him. Spurs got lucky, landing the #1 pick in the Tim Duncan draft.
Yep.
But it's what they do after getting that superstar that really counts. What separates good franchises from bad ones. In the Warriors and Spurs case, they both expertly built rosters around their star that unlocked a dynasty. But in other cases, like the Cavaliers around LeBron in 03 or the Timberwolves around Kevin Garnett, the team wasted an all-time talent. Yeah. So which one are the Mavs going to be with Cooper Flagg? Are they going to waste 2 franchise players? First Luka, now Cooper? Well, it all hinges on what they do these next few months. That is how big this is. How big the GM hire is too, by the way.
Bro, you don't want to. The Mavericks don't want to put themselves in a situation where, Larry, they can't build around Cooper Flagg and they ends up leaving to another team, bro. You don't want that, bro. Like, you don't want Cooper Flagg to be like, let's say he's like 3 years to his NBA career and he's like, nah, I don't want to be on this team no more. This team's not making it nowhere, and he ends up leaving. Or they say like he doesn't re-sign with them and he ends up leaving free in a free agency. But obviously, I think if anything, if Cooper Flagg starts indicating that he wants to leave the Mavericks, which is far ahead, if he ends up indicating that, they'll have to make a trade happen to at least get something in return from him, because they're not about to just let him walk free unless you're stupid enough. I mean, they didn't want Jalen Brunson. I mean, they let Jalen Brunson walk free in free agency. He ended up signing with the New York Knicks. But I mean, if you're a Mavericks, you can't let that happen again, bro. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest. You just can't let that shit happen, bro.
Can make or break Coop's entire Mavs career. So the first thing is the draft pick. While building around Luka, Nico Harrison traded all their picks until 2031 outside of this year. So Coop was dropped into a win-now team. Yeah. Only problem was they suck. All Nico got to replace Kyrie was D'Angelo Russell, so Jason Kidd played his rookie at point guard, at a position set up to fail. Coop faced elite defenders, had no one to set him up in good positions, which led to the worst offense in the NBA. I'm talking a 103.2 offensive rating. Gotta go back to 2021 to find something worse. Now the good news
imagine
is
as the NBA team, you only averaging 103 points per game, bro. Bro, you nigga, that's like G League. Like, come on, you don't even belong in the league, bro. You averaging 100 points in a big 2025. You're only averaging 103 points per game, buddy.
Kidd bailed on Point Cooper, moved him to small forward. Since then, his numbers have bumped across the board. Even assists have stayed the same. Against Portland late, Coop double team spins over Deni Avdija to tie the game. He then goes at all defense to Monty Kamara to send the game to OT at the line. At 18 years old, so things are looking up. But here's the problem. Even with Cooper looking better, the team can't just decide to tank, okay? Tanking is tough. You have to be bad all the time. The Mavs aren't bad enough. I mean, look around the league. Washington, historically awful. Brooklyn can't defend a high school team. Indiana in a full-on teardown. These teams are trying to lose. They're naturally terrible. Dallas has to work to be this bad. And that's the danger. If the Mavericks don't stack losses now, they fall into the dreaded middle of the first round zone, where you get no star, no chance of a real help next to Cooper. And unlike those other teams, Dallas can't take their time. They don't own a pick again till 2031. This is their one bullet. So these tiny improvements, like moving Cooper to small forward, getting a little healthier, getting Kyrie back, those things are good, but they're also catastrophic if you're trying to land a franchise-shifting player. You literally cannot afford to mess up a single week of the season. One low win streak, one stretch of confidence, boom, suddenly picking 11th instead of 3rd. And that's the difference between getting a guy who helps Cooper win a ring and getting a guy who's like out of the league in 4 years. This is why the Mavericks are terrified. It is the worst position an NBA franchise can be in. So what do? We'll hold Anthony Davis back. Yeah, he's set back, another 5 days here, 10 days there. But you can only do that for so long. Because Mark Stein reported...
I'm not gonna lie, the Dallas Mavericks definitely need to trade AD, bro. I feel like this guy's too injury prone, like, bro. I mean, he's been in the Mavericks for like almost a season, and he hasn't even played half the games, bro. They need to get rid of him. Now it's interesting because I personally think he's gonna go. I think because he's been flirting, he's been hitting that going back to Chicago. I think he should go to Chicago. I think Chicago definitely needs a player like him. I definitely do think. I think he should go to Chicago. The Mavericks should trade him to Chicago. Plus, I think he wants to play there. Just imagine him retiring in Chicago, bro. I feel like it's only right, bro.
Reports. The general consensus league-wide is that Davis is going to have to put together a sustained stretch of productive basketball in December and January to generate the sort of interest that Dallas is hoping for. And that is the second part, because outside of the draft pick, you have to nail this Anthony Davis trade to set Cooper up for success. Yep. Now, one solution would be to ask Davis to shut it down all year. Tank now, trade later. But there is no way he would go for that. AD is 32 years old. You think he's going to waste maybe the last year of his prime on the couch? Plus, he's eligible for an extension next offseason. Same for Kyrie.
Oh, yeah, bro's definitely going to get that. He both definitely going to ask that extension, bro. And honestly, the Mavericks better not give it to him. Bro,
no extension, but dude wants to play. Remember, Spears said, someone close to Kyrie told me if it were the playoffs, he could play right now. That's how ahead of schedule he is. I hear he wants to be back and he's ready. Now you're going to ask him to shut it down for the season. I am sorry, but both of these guys have a history of demanding a trade. And if the Mavs want to protect that draft pick, they've got a problem. Play the stars and risk a terrible pick, or shut the stars down and risk a mutiny. They've already had a hell of a time with this Nico Harrison mess. Yep. I wouldn't put it past AD and Kyrie to say, get me out of here. Oh, but that would never happen. Kyrie's so happy in Dallas. What makes you think it's any different? Kyrie in Cleveland didn't like LeBron, so he asked out. Boston didn't like the fit, so he left. Brooklyn didn't like the vibes, so he asked out. Now in Dallas, who he's happy with Luka Doncic. What happens when Kyrie realizes he's now a mentor for Cooper Flagg? Is that really what he wants for his last chapter, really? Dude may be 32 off an ACL, but still an elite ball handler, shot maker. And now he's just gonna be another mentor to young guys like the new Chris Paul, really? You can easily see a world where he wants to move on, especially if they then ask him to shut it down while healthy. That's why Kyrie being ahead of schedule is low-key the worst news possible. It forces the Mavericks into a decision they cannot win. Let him play and ruin the tank, or sit him and risk ruining the relationship. And that's another problem in building around Cooper. They don't have the pick for next year, so not only do they need to trade vets to tank now, but keep enough talent to be good next year. Wow, I feel bad for whoever gets this GM job long term, because it's like team building.
Yeah, the next GM's gonna be in a bad situation, bro. I feel bad for the next GM for the Mavericks, man. They gotta rebuild this team. And anything they do wrong,
on hard mode. So let's be clear on why the Kyrie news is bad. The Mavericks are now sitting at the most important stretch of decision-making in the Cooper Flagg era. They have to protect that 2026 pick like their franchise depends on it, because it does. They have to nail the Anthony Davis trade, not just dump him. And they have to survive these next few months without alienating the only veteran talent they have left. Kyrie is sprinting through his ACL rehab, should be good, but instead, it's just another complication for a front office that is already drowning in them. Dallas doesn't have room for one more misstep, one more complication. They already burned Luka's prime. If they mishandle this stretch, they also risk burning Cooper Flagg's before it even gets started. But one thing you guys always comment to me is you want two things in a video. You want positive videos about the game and small market teams who are good, like the Oklahoma City Thunder. So I had to look at what makes OK.
That's it for the video. There'll be a video by AM Hoops. Another good video by him. Now, my take is, I think, what they should do with Kyrie. Hold on, let me get this ready for y'all. What they should do with Kyrie, they should obviously, I think they should let him play. But if they end up not playing him for the rest of the season and they go on tanking, then I mean, you can't really be mad. I mean, they're trying to get the number one pick to build around Cooper, so I wouldn't be that mad at it. But it's a crazy situation in Dallas, man. They got to move on from Nico Harrison and trying to build towards the future now. So. All right, guys, that's it. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you turn on notifications, whenever I post again. And also, one more thing. I want you guys to follow my Twitch. I will be streaming soon. Follow me. My Twitch username is TheReal_Chuck. I will be streaming soon. Once I get my PC and everything, I will be streaming for y'all. So make sure you turn those notifications on for when I first go live on my Twitch channel. And yeah, bro, that's it for the video, man. I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace.